Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Fusion 3D modeling here on Classroom. So when you first kind of looked at this assignment, we're going to be dealing with this first part here, shape number 1. We're going to go over how to model it, how to maybe find some dimensions, how to create dimensions, everything like that. So first of all, one of the most important things here to remember is that each grid space is a quarter of an inch, so 0.25. Now, for my height, just kind of just to establish some things, our height for our overall shape here, got 1, 2, 3, 4 tall, 2 here kind of in the middle with this cutout, 4 on the right side. I'm probably going to be starting with this part here on the left. I'm going to do an additive approach to this. So I'm going to first start just with this L here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my width, and I got 4 on the height. I got 2 for this little like tower. Then I'll connect it using an L. So back to Fusion. I'm going to go to create a sketch. I'm going to use my front plane. Now I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to go 6 spaces. So you can use math for your dimension or not. So I'm just going to place this. And I'm going to add my dimensions in later, so I'm just going to draw my L shape. Now, we had 6 spaces for our width, so grab my dimension. I'm going to have 6 spaces, so 6 times a quarter is $1.50 if you want to do it that way, so 1.5. I have 2 spaces here. I have 4 spaces here, 2 here. Let's add our vertical constraint, and now we are good. If I try to add one in here, it's locked down because you 1.5 minus 0.5, this is 1 then, and then same thing here, 0.5 plus something has to equal 1, so it's locked. Now for our depth, how much are we going to extrude this? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grid spaces. So I'm going to go finish sketch, click on my home button, so I can kind of see like my isometric view. I'm going to go to extrude, and I'm going to do 1.25. All right, there we go. This is our first part of shape number 1. We have our L, we have it extruded, our height, our width, everything. Now, I'm going to kind of make this tail feature next. Then we'll go back and add the circle last. So this kind of tail feature, it's on the far right side of the shape, and we have this kind of front cut out. So I could definitely maybe make a sketch here on the front, and then I have to make one sketch, extrude, and another sketch to go up. But instead of that, I'm going to just make one sketch overall. Now, I'm designating as the front of my shape, because if I go home, this is the front, this is the back. So I'm going to make a sketch on the back of my shape. Note, I'm clicking the actual back L, not any of my planes or anything. I'm actually clicking the back of the shape. So I'm going to click here. Now, I'm kind of going to draw it in space a little bit, and we'll talk about this when we get to the later shapes as well. But I am going to be kind of using space, or like the blank space, to then create a drawing here. So use my line tool again. I'm going to connect it to our known points on our top and our bottom. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go up, across, because we are making an L again, and I'm going to connect it. Now, maybe if this line was like this or something, make sure you just use your horizontal and vertical constraints and to double check everything. So now, going back to dimensions. So how long it's going to be coming out for our width, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 4 high, and then the tower is a 2 by 2. So dimension, this is going to be 5, 1.25. This is going to be 1. We have a 2 by 2 for this, so 0.5 by 0.5 over constrained. Because it's over constrained already, because we know that this is 0.5 from our previous piece. So Fusion knows that this is 0.5. And as well, 1 1/4 minus half, 3/4, it knows that Fusion has this. It's all black, we're good to go. I'm going to finish sketch. I'm going to click our home button. Now, the sketch is here. It's just flat though. So if you viewed it from your right side, you would only see a line. That's why we kind of did multi-views before. So here we go. Here's our L. How much are we extruding it? I would say 1 2 grid spaces, so 0.5. Extrude, I'm going to grab my geometry. Now I don't want to go in the back direction, I want to go towards us. So it doesn't matter that it's a negative or a positive value, it's just mainly for direction. But I want a negative 0.5 and enter. Okay, so those are our two portions, our first larger L and our second L. Now we need to do the circle. So the general location, I'm not going to be too nitpicky about it because I know it is very, very hard to see. But I'm going to say that the circle is 2 in diameter. So it's 2 grid spaces in diameter. So it's a 0.5. So I'm going to first draw this circle. I'm going to create a sketch on the top middle part here, right about there. Now, I don't like this view. I'm going to rotate it using my view cube. If I use my angles in the top right, or not angles, the arrows, I can then rotate it 90 degrees. I'm going to grab my circle. I'm going to place it right about there. I'm going to type in 0.5, and there we go. I have my diameter, and we're good to go. Now, for the location, like I said, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to have it 2 grid spaces off my edge here, kind of like on this corner. I'm going to have 2 grid spaces off here, and then 3 off the edge on the front. So let's kind of see what that looks like. So I grab center, grab my side, say 0.5, and then from here to here, I'll do 0.75, enter. Now, if I just rotate this to the home position, yeah, I'm happy with that. So 0.5 off the back edge here and 0.75 off the front. Hit finish, we're gonna rotate it, extrude, I'm gonna grab this. Now you could just certainly do this and drag it down to a certain thing, or if you actually click on the extent, you can do all, and it's always going to cut through no matter what, if you change the dimension. I click OK, and there we go. You have shape number 1 dimensioned. After this, you have to go back, add your high density polyethylene, and then check your mass, volume, and then surface area. All right, sounds good. Hope you enjoyed.